Greetings, fellow data-driven disruptors and privacy pirates. Welcome to the Mastermind Growth Lab, where we unpack smart growth strategies, product insights, and reverse engineer tech tricks that are just on the right side of legal. Today's subject is Spotify and the story of how they used an innocent Android feature to run one of the cleanest bits of user surveillance I've ever seen. It's elegant, it's strategic, and yes, absolutely legal. So, one fine day, I open up Spotify and I see a survey prompt. Being a fan of growth experiments and customer development, I thought, sure, why not? Let's see how they run their test in Spotify. The first screen was innocent enough, just a description of a survey. And the second screen, it was a list of 5 apps in the question. Which of these have you ever paid for? And 4 were scary accurate, as if Spotify was somehow able to access my subscription data. The 5th was an app I've never heard of. Probably it was there so it doesn't feel like they're spying on you or something. I was equally impressed and freaked out, so I dug deeper. Turns out, back in Android's Wild West days, apps could access your entire install list. Then Google had a privacy panic and said, okay, maybe we shouldn't let apps rummage through people's phones like raccoons. But there are still loopholes. Specifically, the humble queries element in your Android manifest. It lets an app ask, does this user have this particular app installed? And the app can do so for a declared list of apps only. And Spotify? Well, they made a list. YouTube Premium? Check. Netflix? Check. Duolingo, Tinder, Headspace? Check. If the app is subscription-based, guess what? Spotify now knows you're a spender, a subscriber. And since you're paying $6.99 for white noise, why not throw $10 their way for some music? And boom, targeted offer based on passive app data. No tracking cookies, no sketchy scrapers, just smart use of an Android feature you've never heard of. So, what is the business strategy here? Well, if you want to leverage package visibility like Spotify does, here are some growth hacks that actually work with Android's queries functionality. First of all, you can regularly check for new competitor apps and then trigger retention campaigns. For example, we see you are using this app, so here's 3 months at 50% off. Then you can detect patterns across categories of installed apps. For example, if a user has trading apps, it's quite possible they are ripe for new ways to earn money. Then you can highlight what makes your app stand out. For example, unlike app Y, we offer unlimited storage and actual human support. Also, you can identify region-specific or industry-specific apps on a user's phone and plan communications accordingly. And then you can detect paid-only apps and identify users who are willing to pay. You can say, based on your app preferences, you might appreciate our pro features that most free users never discover. There are so many ways you can use that feature, but remember, you can only check other apps when the user opens your app. There is no background spying, and every app you plan to track must be declared in your manifest. But there is a catch. This approach only works fully on Android 11 and Target SDK 30 and above. Otherwise, you see all of the apps installed freely. But I really doubt there is anyone who would be interested in that, right? Let me now show you how it's done in Android Studio. First, you have to go to Android folder of your project, then App, then SRC, Main, and here you will find AndroidManifest.xml file. Here you will have to add a queries block where you have to list all of the package names of the apps you want to track. Now that we have set up our queries file, we have to make sure that UI gets the information from native Android. For that, in the main activity, which is located at main Kotlin, for example, your name of your app main activity, we have set up a method channel. It is used to connect our Flutter UI with native Android, and this is how our app will ask Android for a list of installed apps. This function right here is very important because we will use it to fetch all installed apps on the device. Each app will then be transformed into a simple map with a package name, a display name, and a flag is installed. I don't think it's worth spending much time describing what I did in the UI. Let's just run the app and see how it goes.
2 hours later.
Okay, now that the app is running, we see a list of all the apps installed on my phone. And as I mentioned before, I have a list of music apps, subscription apps, and regional apps. Let's add some more apps from the list to see if they will appear here. Alright, I have installed a couple of apps that are famous for their extortionism. So let's go back to the app. We closed it previously to test whether it will pick up new coming apps. So we go to music. There's Deezer, there's Apple Music, there's Netflix, Evernote, Bumble. Well, it works. At Mastermind Growth Lab, we don't just build products, we weaponize insights. We are cooking high quality, high impact products. And if you want your product to be next, just reach out.